It just wasn't meant to be for Joseph Parker to become champion again. He just lost to Fabio Wardley in the 11th round last night for the WBO interim heavyweight title. I thought it was pretty controversial when I first watched it, but then when I looked back at it again in the second time, he just wasn't throwing back, so I understood what the ref was doing. Now this was a very important fight for Parker. He was on a 6-fight win streak. We've been calling for him to get a title shot for the past 2 or 3 fights now. His last 3 wins were Martin Bakole, Zhang, and Deontay Wilder, and he looked good in every single one of them. After the Bakole fight, he should have been getting that title shot. He shouldn't even had to fight Wardley. Honestly, even after the Zhang fight, he should have deserved a title shot. A big name like Parker, who's still young and was a former champion, deserves to be getting these title shots. He shouldn't have to keep fighting guys to prove himself why he deserves to get a title shot. But I also understand the fact that he was supposed to still win last night. Even though he really deserved a title shot, not fighting Wardley, he still should have won regardless. And Wardley's not some bum. He's undefeated. He has some solid wins to him, powerful fighter. So this was still a pretty tough fight for him. But I thought Parker, being the fighter he is, could have handled him. And he was, until that stoppage. But this is why I'm saying it's just not meant to be, right? He should have had a title shot even before this Wardley fight. He gets the Wardley fight and it ends in a pretty controversial decision. Now, he's basically going to have to restart now. The good thing about Parker, though, he's still pretty young. He's only 33 years old, and being in your 30s is really kind of still in your prime for heavyweight. I mean, you could be an old heavyweight champion. We're seeing that all the time now. Parker could be 38, 39 still competing for world titles. So it's not over yet, but it's just going to be a longer road now because I know this for a fact. Turkey, with him controlling all the promotional companies over in Europe now, and DAZN, he does not like Parker. We kind of see that for the past year or two now. He really does not like Parker. He was doing everything he could to prevent Parker from getting a title shot. So now that he saw Parker lose, he's happy now, and Parker, he's just going to get pushed back down that line. But it shouldn't be over for Parker, right? We see how the boxing world treats fighters when they lose now. They push him to the side. That should not be the case. I still think Parker is a top 5 heavyweight, and I still think he deserves big fights. People were saying that Moses Atama deserved title shots. Hey, you want that? How about you feed him against Parker now? Before we continue, I'm going to give a shout out to my sponsor. That's Hayabusa, some of the best boxing equipment out there. Make sure to use the code ALEXD, ALEXD, all caps, get a percentage off your order. So make no mistake, despite Parker losing, he's still not a bum. He's still not out of it. He was still on top of the cards in my opinion. Unfortunate stoppage. He's still a top 5 heavyweight. He can still beat a lot of the guys. Another thing I want to point out is, even though I was calling for him to get a title shot, I think he deserves a title shot. I wasn't saying he would beat Usyk. I know Usyk would beat Parker, but a lot of guys would lose to Usyk. I think Usyk beats everybody. But if anybody was going to fight for the title against Usyk and at least get the opportunity, it was Parker who deserved it the most. It wasn't Moses Atama. It wasn't Anthony Joshua. It wasn't Daniel Dubois. It wasn't Fury again. The next person who deserved that title shot, hands down, was Joseph Parker. And especially if he won tonight, this fight tonight was definitely the mandatory for the next title shot. So now we're going to see Fabio Wardley, a guy who was the underdog going into this fight, a fight that we were not expecting him to win. He's getting a title shot now. Pretty good luck for him. He did what he had to do, not bashing him. Like I said, he's a good fighter, but man, it just was not meant to be for Joseph Parker. So what's next for Joseph Parker? I don't know. I don't know how they're going to treat him. I think he still beats a lot of contenders, but still stay active. All right, I think he can become a champion again one day. I really believe that, and he will fight for a title one day. It's just gonna be a longer road now. Let me know down below in the comments what you thought of the Parker versus Wardley fight. Was it a bad stoppage? What should Parker do next? Who should he fight next? How long until we see him fight for a title shot or even be close to the opportunity? Make sure to subscribe. Best boxing content on YouTube. I'm out, guys. Peace.